What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Best Women's Boxing Show, period. I am Cynthia Conte.
I am Giandra LaBeouf, and despite it being kind of cold outside, I feel like I have a personal inferno going on. So, great for me. But we're going to talk more important things to that. We are going to talk to this champion here, Miss Tiara Brown. Thank you so much
Yes!
for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
The
Welcome
pleasure.
to the show. Yeah. Go ahead, Giandra. I know you want to start it off.
Before we're going to talk about your last fight and amazing victory, congratulations to you. But since we haven't had the chance to meet you I haven't had the chance anyway to meet you before and talk about your journey, I wanted to take it all the way back and talk about your successful amateur career and transitioning to the pros. What was the biggest mental adjustment for you in that transition going from amateur to pros? Because we hear so many people talk about, oh, this fighter has an amateur style or pro style. So what was the biggest mental adjustment you had to make?
I think the biggest mental adjustment actually was the fact that I don't get to fight two, three times in 1 month. You
Mm.
know, like I love fighting. I'm in the gym every single day, 2 to 3 times a day, even when I'm not competing, right? And as an amateur, I was always fighting. I was on Team USA, I was number one in the world. So I was always traveling to fight. And then when I turned pro, it's like, okay, you have a fight, and you might fight 3 months later, and then you may fight. It's like, oh my gosh, I want the activity.
It's awesome.
That's the motto now, activity for all the women.
Yeah, right.
No, just in that with the activity that like Cynthia just mentioned, that's always an issue for women's boxing, just making sure they're being seen, being active. Do you feel like you're going to cross into that threshold, or do you feel like you're at that threshold now where you can be more active now that you have the strap on you?
Yes, I think by the end of the week I'll have some really amazing news to share. And I do see myself fighting big fights only. God is blessing me now. He's finally, cracked that door open and I kicked it down. And I'm very excited about my future. I'm just always ready to fight. I'm always ready to entertain. I just left the gym. I was looking at the watch. I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta leave. I got a podcast. We were sparring at another gym. I was like, I gotta go. Bye.
Well, on the heel of what you just said, I think I know what it is. I'm going to put it out in
Oh,
the universe because I do read yours and Amanda's Twitter, and I'm
oh.
I'm just going to say that I think you're going to be signed to Most Valuable Promotions.
Hmm.
Hmm. Just throwing it
Okay.
out there. That's what I
Yeah.
believe. And if it's not that, then I think you should. Just saying. And because also, once Katie Taylor fights and whatever happens with that fight, Amanda Serrano has the other straps that you want to get your hands on. So somehow, like Alicia's part of the team. So it's like a little round robin. All of you ladies have to fight, move up and down in weight. I think it's a perfect match. And if it's not Jake Paul, Amanda Serrano, Nakisa, I'm just saying Tiara Brown. But you don't have to. You could just say yes with your eyes.
The shift between us and then
It's just
everyone
no
who's
one will
watching.
know.
Yeah, right. Between us and the millions of viewers.
So yeah, but I
But
think
it's gonna be good.
I can't wait. So you just mentioned God, and I want to say what you said in an interview after you won the strap. God already showed me. He showed me I won. No weapon found against me shall prosper. And this was not against just Skye Nicholson, but just everything in general. Um, you went down on your knees when you won that fight. What congratulations, my God. Like I was watching it back and it was a split decision and it came down to the Australian judge.
Look at God.
Before that card was read, did you think you were you knew you had it in the bag, did you? And if you didn't, did you think you were going to be robbed since it was in Australia in her home country?
So I've been boxing since I was 13, right? And normally I get butterflies, I'm like, ah. I used to get like when I was on the amateur team, I used to get so many butterflies that I thought I was gonna vomit. Like, but this is the one and only time in my entire career I never felt butterflies. I never was nervous. I had a very gruesome 6 weeks of training camp because I had to relearn. Basically, I had to change the way I fight. My coach's game plan uh, was to take away everything Skye does great, and in doing so, I had to change the way I fight. And so it was very tough. It was very gruesome. I was like very hard on myself when I wouldn't do great in sparring against the guys that I was sparring. And I said to myself, I'm God is going to use me in this fight. People were saying, don't go over there, champ. Don't, they're gonna rob you. Don't go. You're going to Australia. She's the Australian champion. There's no way they're gonna let you win. I said, but God. I said, imagine this. I am a major underdog, right? I said, but imagine God using this as his platform to show the world that things that seem impossible, if you believe and stand on him, they are possible. So we went to Australia to fight the Australian champion, the golden goose of matchroom boxing. And I knew that I was going to win. So when that last card came down and I knew it was to the Australian judge, I said, won't he do it? Won't he
Real.
do it? I knew my coach, they were sweating bullets. I turned around to him, I said, it's okay. I knew I had it in the bag. I said, because this is the platform. He showed that he can make a way out of no way because the only people thought I would win is like my real friends, my family, people that actually know me and that have known my whole boxing struggle, knew like I'm winning. But just the casual fans, they listened to Skye talk, belittle me for 2 years. So they thought I was some trash instead of doing their actual homework. Like I had the gold medals when I was an amateur, but they didn't know anything about it. They just stood on what she was saying about me, about my resume. But I knew that judge, he was going to do right. God was going to use him and use me to show the world that God is good and anything is possible if you have faith.
Come on,
Amen.
faith of a mustard seed. Amen.
Right?
Better take us
Amen.
today.
Yep.
Is there something that you did in that fight that it might be subtle to fans watching, but that you're really proud of, that was strategic, that won't be apparent to us just casual people or people who don't box?
So I knew that. So I don't know if you like which view you guys could see, but when I was in the tunnel, right, the entire auditorium was just booing like so loud, right? So even like round 1 through maybe 5, still boo, boo, boo. But I just said to myself, I'm gonna stay composed because I know that everyone thought I would not stay
Yeah.
composed, and I stuck to the plan, right? I just kept saying to myself, stick to the plan. The plan is going to work because my sparring partner, he mimicked Skye so good. You would have thought I was sparring Skye for 6 weeks. The way my coach had him study her, the same exact way she moves in the ring, he moved that same way through all of our sparring. And at first, it was hard. I was beating myself up, man, beating myself up like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Like doubting myself, like, okay, having to keep myself going this way, keep my hands up, move my hands. But that was the only time I would doubt myself while I was sparring my training partner. And then it became to the point where all the doubt was gone. I starved the doubt. I starved it for the rest of the camp. I said, if I let doubt enter my mind, I'm going to lose. So there was not one day I said in my mind, and still the WBC champion of the world, never, never. Every day I would wake up, I would say, I would look myself in the mirror. I would say, and the new. I would point at myself, and the new. I would just keep saying it in different ways. And then I'll train my brain to think like, okay, what am I going to do after they say and the new, right? Like, what am I going to say? They're going to have the camera in my face. I don't want to be like, blah, 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 blah. you know? So, so I'm like, I just kept preparing my brain to win, win, win. Never doubt, not none.
That is the hardest thing besides getting in
Yes.
there and getting hit and, trying not to get hit is the power of the brain to not,
Yeah.
you're focused on just stay composed because throughout fight week, you were heated. And for her, she was just like, yeah, whatever. And I get
Yeah,
it,
whatever.
And so people are going to think that you are not going to, you're just going to have emotions fighting the battle. And so I think I do remember the five, the first 5 rounds, and people were booing. And I mean, the names were so atrocious. The what people called you. I mean, fuck you all. Like
Yeah.
seriously, it's racism is still here, and it's just disgusting. It's not just in boxing, but in everything. You got people's respect, man. When you could hear people booing, but they kind of knew that
And they
she
started
lost.
changing, right? They started changing those
And
rules,
yeah, and I was looking at the timeline and people were like, she won that. Skye was holding a lot, and I get it. It's boxing. We see a lot of hugging and wrestling, but the pressure, the relentless pressure that you put on her. Now, after you've gone 10 rounds with her, what's her power? Because I mean, her style is, a lot of people don't like her style. It is what it is. But going 10 rounds with her, how was it? Did she have power? Did you her footwork? Like what did you see out of Skye?
I want to be respectful. Okay.
Talk, you could just be honest. You talk your shit. We have a
This a grown show. You
Yeah,
can talk
it
your
is. Yeah.
So, okay, this is the thing, right? A lot of people didn't know because, like, I'm not very active on Twitter. So, a lot of people don't have Twitter. A lot of people didn't see the stuff that she was saying about me for 2 years straight.
Mm.
Just talking down on me, saying I've accomplished nothing in the sport of women's boxing. I'm old, I'm slow, I'm I'm unlikable. I have no fan base. Like, you don't know me. I'm unlikable. You've never met me. And the thing about that is she started getting people to think that way.
Mm.
Because looking back now, I can see some threads where people are like, she's not these things that you said. You said she was unlikable, but she's actually likable. It's just people don't understand the power of the tongue. The Bible speaks about the Bible speaks about the power of the tongue. Like you can talk so bad about a person to a group of people, those group of people formulate their own opinion. So when they actually meet that person, like, oh no, man, I don't wanna nah, I heard so many bad things about this person. And I'm just gonna be honest, Skye, she fights like an amateur fighter. She does. She fights still the amateur style, and this is professional boxing. People want to see action. Her fights are boring. They are. Her fights are boring. The fans don't want to be put to sleep. And you can see what people are like, oh my gosh, she's so boring, putting people to sleep with disease and all that, like snooze fest. Like they were saying about our fight. Our fight would be a snooze fest. And I'm reading this like, oh no, it's not. Because I'm gonna come. I'm gonna fight. Like, I don't know what she's gonna do, but I'm gonna get active. And I just think that she needs to work on some things. She needs to work on her power. She needs to work on getting out of that style. This is 2025. We want to see action. The women, we have grown so far, right? We've gone so far up the mountain, and it's like you have to grow. You got to go along. Like Katie Taylor, Amanda, part three. Man, I can't sleep thinking about that fight. I can't sleep thinking about that fight because we know what we're about to get. We're about to get action. We're about to get action from round one. We're about to get. I get so excited. Sometimes I talk at like 100 miles per hour.
Mhm.
But Skye, she needs to change up her fight plan. Hopefully, she goes back to the drawing board and change the way she said she was gonna do a lot of things that she didn't do. I said I was gonna shut her down and cut her off at the waist, and that's what I did.
When I looking back at your fight and thinking about the fight, I think about your style is kind of like a good marriage of slick movement and
Yeah.
aggressive pressure. So when you look at the time that you made the transition from an amateur to a pro, is there something you can point to in your training that really made like the switch flip, like, okay, I have to leave this behind in order to be that pro fighter that people want to see?
You have to get power. You have to get stronger. You have to get meaner. You know, in the amateurs, there's a lot of pop, 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 right? In the professional, we want to see blood. People want to see action. That's why people love WWE, MMA so much because it's blood gore, like it's aggressive, And this is boxing. If the women want to be respected, just like the men, because we always talk about equality, right? We always talk about we want more of a fan base. Well, then we have to have action-packed fights. And I think that Skye needs to focus on getting stronger and getting more aggressive. Now, I'm not saying to be recklessly aggressive, but like you said, I'm slick and I come forward at the same time. Like I want to catch, move, slip, roll, but at the same time, I come with the aggression. And I think she needs to work on that.
I think to be fair for Skye, because when we think of men, we've seen snooze fest, but they're also very skilled boxers. They're very
Right.
elusive. They can't get hit. And so when I've seen I mean, majority of Skye's fights, she can't get hit in the fights that she has won. Um, so yours was a little different because you did not get off of her ass the entire time. You took away her range. You were smothering punches. You were getting some of your punches off. It's very rare. Uppercuts are the ones that people rarely ever get to see, and you were throwing a lot. And Skye did. She closed out well, but it was just what the eye was seeing is that we do like to see power. We like to see the power shots, but I'm just defending her in that. So I'm not saying it's wrong,
No,
but
I
hey,
agree.
I'm not a boxer. Is there a rematch?
Well, there was no rematch, and I'm looking on to better and bigger things. I think Sky was. I think that Sky was the golden goose, right? Everyone knows Sky's Matchroom's golden girl. Like that's who everyone Sky. They don't really worry about other girls through Matchroom. They Sky, and I think that God used her, her big, massive platform, right? All her trillions of fans to be my stepping stone.
Mm.
Because she said I was irrelevant. Sky said I was irrelevant. She said that I was so far on the ranking system. Why would she even be thinking about me? That's what she said. I'm just saying what she said. So he used all of that to build my platform. So now I have all, she said I had no fans. Now I have all these extra fans because they watched me and you fight. And so I took some of her fans too. Thank you to all the fans who switched over. Appreciate you. And I'm just on to, I'm looking forward to my career. I think sky's the past. Now, if she gets a belt, she can come over here to America and maybe we can talk business. But as of now, she has nothing to offer me.
So going back to what Cynthia said at the beginning of the show, that it could be an MVP thing. You just said that you dream at night of the possibility of these fights. Do you think that, and I'm not sure if you can answer this, by all of the women going to, not all, a large number of women are now going over to the MVP platform, a lot within the same weight classes could come up and come down to meet each other. Is there a tournament type of thing going on over there? Is it, let's do all of these kind of adjacent stuff? Because it's given a little bit Super Six over there right now.
Right?
It's given Andre Ward Super Six,
Oh man, that was awesome.
that era.
Hey, we need one for
Do
the
you
women.
remember that? You remember that? Like I have no idea if that's what's going on, but do you remember that? It's stuff like that. Like now is the time
Yeah.
for us to be making major big fights. Like, it's just I'm very excited. I'm excited where women's boxing is going. Even the fact that Salida Promotions just signed
Yeah.
Franchon Group.
A lot of
So
women, a lot of women now.
yes, there's a lot of women, big names, big fights to be made. And we have so many of the youth looking, even the men, right? I just left a gym that was the only girl fighter in there was me.
Mm.
And they're all looking to me, champ, can we have a picture like all these guys? Or, oh, you're my favorite fighter. I'm looking like, what, me? It's just, we have all these guys looking up to us now. And it's so cool. It feels amazing.
Let me ask you because I before you were a boxer, you were a police officer. Did you leave Fort Myers PD to go fight, or were you already retired, pursue your boxing career full time?
Well, I've been boxing full time this entire time.
Mm.
So
Okay.
I went, it was very hard to juggle, but so when I graduated high school, I went to college in Columbus State University in Columbus, Georgia. For 4 years, I had my bachelor's degree in criminal justice. So I always knew, like, okay, I'll always be able to fall back on something like that. But I was still boxing. Uh, and so then from Georgia, I moved to DC, where I was boxing. I was on Team USA, and there was a lot of police officers in my gym. So I was like, well, I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. I'm here training with all these cops. I should
Why
go to the
not?
force. Why not? So I joined the force, DC Police, Metropolitan Police Department, and I actually received the highest honor. I received Officer of the Year out of 3,000 police officers.
Mm.
I'm the first and only African American female to ever receive that award. It's the highest award, and I take that with so much pride. And so after I moved back, I was on DC Police for 5.5 years, and then I just hate being cold. Oh my gosh, I'm from Florida, born and raised. And it's crazy because every winter I would say I'm quitting the force. I'm going back home. I hate this. I was a mountain bike officer, right?
Oh,
So
wow.
I was always on the
What?
bike.
Come on, cardio.
I know it's like you're getting your cardio in for
I was
your
working
for
out.
fights.
Listen, yes, because I would be riding that bike up this hill, like the hill went like slap this straight up, right? And then imagine when it's snowing. One time I slid and flew off my bike on dry ice, right? And
Mhm.
I mean, I went tumbling, but I was always having like my helmet, my mitts and all that. And the only thing I was thinking was like, oh my gosh, I hope no one recorded me, right? Because I did not want to
Oh,
be the
did you deep
meme. I did
dive
not
on
want to be a
YouTube?
meme. Listen, I think that's every officer's worst
You're a
fear of
bust
being
her
a
ass
meme.
on
I
dude.
didn't want to be a meme like, oh, this officer went nose planting in the snow and we got it on lock. I did not want to be a meme because memes don't ever fade. They
Wait a
don't.
minute. I mean, I'm from LA, so you even when it's snowing and you're in DC, you still have to ride a bicycle. You don't get in a car.
No,
Like,
no.
how do you go? Do you have high speed bike chases on like how does
Oh,
this work?
oh yeah,
I don't know.
listen, I was having high speed bike chases, right?
Like
There'll be
from
times
like
where
a
I'm having
car or someone running?
like running cars too. I was listen, I was the one.
Oh.
They knew if you see this bike here, I'm coming, okay? I would beat some of my coworkers to the scene, right? I'd be popping wheelies, jumping over things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember one time there were these juveniles and they were like, they stole out of a 7-Eleven. And so we got the call, I'm riding my bike real fast. And then they're running. I'm like, and then they jumped the fence. I jumped the fence too. Like, I jumped the fence. I threw the bike. I jumped the fence. Like, I'm not going to stop. You thought I was going to stop chasing because you jumped the fence. I'm coming too,
I
you know?
don't know you.
Wow.
You
And
know
you
what I
can
mean?
box.
And then like after I called them, we all laughed about it. It was just funny. Like I was tired, they were tired, and we were just laughing. Now, like those are things that I miss about being a police officer. They used to call me officer friendly because I never
Oh.
wanted to lock up anyone. Unless like you just had to be locked up. Then I'm like, oh, you gotta get locked up, buddy. But it's all good. We can chat. We can dap it up after. But when I moved from DC, I came back home to Florida and then I entered onto the Fort Myers Police Department, and I was on 2 years, 2.5 years for the Fort Myers Police. But I'm actually over the Fort Myers Police Athletic League boxing team.
Oh,
Mm.
yeah, yeah,
I'm one
yeah.
of the coaches there now, so it's like I still work with the police. Right now, I'm thinking about opening up my own gym. Well, I'm not thinking about it. That's my plan to open up my own gym, like a recreation center that has boxing and that has like a classroom so the kids can come in. We can get tutoring. We can teach them like
Oh.
about taxes, just about things that the school does not teach you. School don't teach you about taxes. About stuff,
Mhm.
things like that. So I have a really big vision,
That's good.
and that's really what like motivates me to keep going.
So tell me this, officer friendly. So you reach this accolade where you become officer of the year. Was there ever a moment where you considered like, well, maybe this is my path because I'm one of the few who have achieved this honor. One of the few Black African American women who won this honor. Maybe this is my path. So was there ever a time where you thought maybe I should walk away from boxing and just fully commit myself to serving the community in this capacity?
So I knew that I I actually have a short documentary that was directed by Queen Latifah. It's called Gloves Off. You guys have to check it out.
Oh,
It was played on the
wow.
BET. It was played on BET, on Hallmark. It was showed in a bunch of different places. The film festival back when COVID first started.
When does
It was
this
a
come
pretty big
out?
deal. What, 2000? When did COVID first hit? I think it was like 2019 or 20.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's
Oh,
called
okay.
Gloves Off. It's Queen Latifah has that Queen Collective,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
so it's one of those. And I spoke about how I want to do both, right? But what ended up happening is, I don't want to get choked up. What ended up happening is, so- it started becoming very hard for me when George Floyd passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because my vision is a community, right? You do the crime, you do the time after that. Hey, you do the crime, you do the time. Are we not supposed to rehabilitate? Are we not supposed to do like God do? Imagine if God uh treated us as our sins, right?
Mm,
We wouldn't we wouldn't make it.
to be here.
Yeah.
Did
Um,
you guys see what the WBC posted today?
no,
You
I
gotta check
haven't.
it out.
Oh, well, so this is how I first met you at the WBC Women's Summit, and I wanted to interview you, and it was like it was at the very first day. I was in the front row with you, and it was so amazing because Laila Ali
Uh,
presented your belt. So you already had the fancy belt that was made, but then you got the belt, and many don't know. I had to ask many people, many WBC people, you're the first and only world champion to ever be presented her belt by Laila Ali. And if you guys don't know, Laila Ali's on the belt with her dad, Muhammad Ali, on the WBC belt. So congratulations. You just made history.
I thought I was gonna have a heart attack.
I'm gonna put because I recorded it and I'm gonna put it in our interview for people because I know it's out there. And I interviewed Laila Ali after, and I told her, I go, what was it like to present her the belt? And she's like, it was amazing. She doesn't get to come to these things often because she has kids, and you heard her story, but she's just like, it was lovely to see all the women, the champions, and all the women
Yes.
that just are trying to be better for the sport and come together. But yeah, you had me I mean, everyone was like teary-eyed, and it was so beautiful to see. And I'm so glad that you were able to come and get your thing. I mean, you got your belt from Laila Ali. That's pretty dope.
I know no one can say that. Like, bro, I got my belt from the goat, like the real one, like the pioneer. Come
Right?
on.
You
And I
should
don't
watch
know
it.
if you guys know it, but Layla got those seasonings because I sure be seasoning up my food with them
Oh,
too.
we
She's
talked
gonna
about
send
that.
us
Yeah.
some, she said.
Yeah. Watch the interview. Go on our YouTube channel or podcast and find the Laila Ali, and you'll find the part that she talks about you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I think it was I forgot who was talking. I think they were doing something, and I was able to interview her and Christy Martin. Those are the only two fighters, and I couldn't get you because you took off with Nancy from Supreme from WBC to do something. I'm like, damn it. And then yeah, you left. I was like, I need her. But yeah. So congratulations. Big things ahead. A couple things I wanted to ask you. Giandra and I have these things like we have segments. I want to ask you because there's things that I found it so sweet because you're not a young spring chicken like some of these other girls are, but I want to
No,
see if
I'm not.
I mean, we're much older than you, so don't worry. I want to do this or that. It's a this or that. Or would
Okay,
you
yeah, let's do
rather
it.
have this?
It's gonna be fun.
I know nothing about you when I heard certain things about you. Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate,
Chocolate chip or peanut butter?
chocolate chip.
Cookies or cupcakes?
Yeah, cookies.
Cupcakes or cakes?
Cupcakes.
Because why I'm asking these because that's what she craved. She wanted
Yeah.
cupcakes, okay, I don't know if you'll know this one. The cartoons. Smurfs or Gem? Do you know Gem? She's like,
I
okay,
don't know,
Smurf.
Jim.
Cynthia
Okay.
got us looking old in these.
Wait, let me think. Jim.
Gem had
I
like
thought you
star
meant Jim
earrings.
like boxing Jim.
Oh, okay. Gem or Thundercats?
Oh, Thundercat. Oh,
Thundercats or He-Man?
Thundercat.
Okay,
Yeah,
would you?
thunder, 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 thunder. Yeah, don't get me started. Don't get me started. They don't know anything about what we're talking about right now.
Which would you rather fly or would you like to see in the future?
Wait, who would I like to see in the future?
No, like see the future or would you rather fly if you had a power?
Ay, 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 Dios mío. Hmm. See, I don't know if I want to see in the future because if I see something that is not good, then I'm gonna live the rest of my life trying to avoid like that movie. What's that? Final Destination. Those people were doing everything in their power to not fall on the fork and fell on the fork bust them in the eye, they died.
Dead.
So I think I just want to fly.
Okay. All right. Do you want to sing like Deutsche or sing like Lauryn Hill?
Lauren Hill.
Do you want to dance like Usher or dance like Beyonce?
Hmm. I'm gonna say Usher because Usher danced like Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Do you want to rap like Cardi or rap like Megan Thee Stallion?
Oh my gosh. No. Hmm. What if I want to rap like Nicki?
Okay. You can add in Nicki. Okay. Now, do you want to twerk like Cardi or twerk like Nicki or Megan Thee Stallion? I'll give you three.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
great
Megan
way
Thee
to find
Stallion.
out more about you because I'm like, I wonder what cupcakes and cookies, and you're like, I just want
Uh,
to watch cartoons after she won. That was her thing. I
and
just
that's
want to.
exactly what I was doing.
What did you watch? What did you eat when you
One
got
Piece is
home?
my
Or
jam. Do you guys like anime?
My
I,
daughter is super into
yeah.
anime. Super
As
duper.
your daughter tell
Back
you,
on
she used to watch.
Titan and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Hunter's X Hunter,
Mm-hmm.
Baki. One Piece is my favorite.
Okay. I
Okay,
was just curious.
I'm gonna be ready to see that anime inspired gear. That would
Yeah.
be
I
Oh, I
so
always,
got it.
for a big high
you
profile
know
fight.
what? When anime came out, I always thought it was like porn. I'm not like animals,
Yeah,
crazy
no, a
porn.
lot of
I
people thought
always
that.
thought that's what
Yeah. No, a
it
lot
was.
of people thought that they did. A lot of people thought that
Like
was
a
like cartoon
three-headed
porn.
dragon with a big penis having sex. Like I
Yeah.
thought that's what
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, no,
Wow.
seriously, a lot of people thought that. Yeah, they did.
Okay, maybe not.
If you could mentor your younger self, what would you emphasize that took you kind of like a long time to learn that got on this side?
Everyone's not gonna like you,
Mm,
regardless of how good you are, regardless of how kind you may be. Everyone's not going to like you.
Since not everyone's gonna like you now, everything happened that with Skye. Like I said, I don't know if she's apologized or whatever. Do you hold anything against her? Do you forgive her for everything that's happened in the past 2 years with her, of what the things that have been said from her mouth that you have seen and read? Do you forgive her, even if she doesn't say sorry?
So this is my thing. I've been finding out that if I answer that question, she may come on and attack you guys in your DM, like she's been doing. Anytime I speak my truth, she goes to the person I was speaking it to and DMs them upset, saying she wants to tell her side. But for 2 years, I never did that when I was watching all these podcasts for just slandering my name. I never went on these people's podcasts like, hey, I need you to come interview me. I need to tell my side, but that's entitlement, right? Um, but I forgive her for all the things that she said for then and that she's still saying now because it's beneath me. I've got the WBC belt. I did what I said I'm going to do, and I'm very proud of myself for doing it because people just don't get it. When you're being called baboon, monkey, when they're saying you have a Adam's apple, when they're saying go back to Africa, you belong in the Congo, you're the people don't understand because it's not them. It's not their loved one that's going through it, right? But
mm,
that's what I went through. And it still happens right now. That's why I don't even go back on those other posts and look because it's not healthy mentally,
Yeah.
nor is it healthy emotionally. But people just they don't even care about that. All they care about is I was in Scott's face as a boxer, saying what I was gonna do. I never cursed her. I never touched her. But yet I've been called ignorant. This is how black people act. This is how
gaslight
they
is
act. They're
crazy.
savages. I never touched her. I never even cursed. Yeah, I was rah in her face, but I wasn't disrespectful. She's been disrespectful to the people she fought. You can go back and look, you know, but I got all of that, and it's like, it's unfair, but I've learned to have tough, thick skin,
Amen.
right? My ancestors had to have tough, thick skin, right? And they did, and I do. And so I just pray for Sky. I know my truth. She has her own truth. She's probably going to reach out to you guys, maybe tonight or tomorrow, whenever you post this video, and tell you she wants to speak her truth, like she just
I
did
would love
last
for
week.
Sky to come on. I mean,
Yeah, I'm sure
it's,
she will. I'm sure she will. I'm sure she will, but I'm not mad at anything because I've been through this. I've been through this time and time. Like I said, I have very thick skin.
Well, Alexis, as we're going to the end to wrap the, as we kind of land the plane, what overall, do you think this win confirmed for you about where you're at in your career? And did it reveal to you anything that you want to sharpen? Like, what have been your overall revelations about this win and where you're at in your career?
I think that so my father is a preacher, and I'm very faith-based. I've always been that way. And it was not easy watching my Team USA teammates go off and fight for world title after world title after world title, and I still never got a shot, at one. And this victory just showed me that through God, if you stay 10 toes down for him and believe for real, not just anybody can say, "Oh, I have God." No, you have to live that. And it's not easy. It's not easy to live God, right? It's not. Sometimes people do something to you, you want to act, but you have to think. I know it's a cliche, what would Jesus do? But I found myself asking that question a lot. What would he do? Like, would he handle that situation like my other Gemini wants to handle it sometimes? No, I want to always be a positive role model. I want to always be a positive influence. And that victory just showed me that I'm her. Like, I am God's anointed child.
Yeah, Tiara dot anointed. That's your handle. Because what next week you have is it the end of this week or in the end of next week your hopeful good news of MVP?
Yeah, so we
Huh?
can
I
Just
think this weekend we should know about the secret. The secret, the secret.
okay, well, if that's the case, I'm going to drop this interview tomorrow. And I'll
Hey.
be like, we were ahead of the curve. We have to get predictions because you said it earlier. When you think about Taylor Serrano, we
Oh,
know what we're going to get. You can't sleep. Who wins the trilogy?
Mhm.
Wait,
I
Who won the first fight and who won the second fight to you before
so
you
this is
answer
my
it?
thing, right? This is my thing. I always think Amanda is winning till she take her foot off the gas. That's why I know this time she's not gonna take her foot off the gas. She
Mm.
not.
So wait, who won the first fight and who won the second fight?
I think Amanda clears they won the first fight.
Okay.
The second fight, I think it was tossed in the air. She would have had it if I think she took her foot off the gas a little bit, right? But this last fight, I
Okay.
know she's not gonna take her foot off the gas. She's gonna come on with the victory. Third time, it's a charm. I keep telling people that. Let me tell you a quick story before you go off.
Yep.
So when I was on Team USA, I was always afraid of Patricia Manuel, right? The first time I fought Patricia, it was 2009, and I was 125 pounds trying to fight at 132 pounds. So I was doing really good, just being slick and hitting them and getting out the way. But Patricia was knocking these girls out. I'm talking about, and then the championship, I made it to the championship and I had to fight her. And I was like, Lord help me. I'm about to get this dog walk demolished. I was so scared. I've never been afraid of someone. I was afraid of Patricia. She beat me in the championship. And then she's like, she respected me because I was the only person that she didn't beat down, like drop. So I was like, oh, I think the Lord got it good. So then about 2 years later, I ended up having to fight her again. I was like, why, God, are you doing this to me? I already told you, I already know I'm afraid of this girl. Why do I have to fight her again? She beat me again. The third time, see, the third time we fought I think it was the 2012 or 2015, one of those, 2015 USA Olympic trials. Let me just tell y'all something. See, what happened was I was not that scared, little scrawny fighter. And for all that time, I was thinking, like, I can do this. Don't fear her. Like, yeah, she's big, she's strong. You're big, you're strong too. And that third time, man, I went through that thing, bum, 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 and I won. So I know that she's gonna win this third fight.
Mm.
Okay. All right. Okay. Real fast before we go, Alicia Baumgardner and Jennifer Miranda as the co-main event. Who wins? That's
Bumgarner.
undisputed. Baumgardner
Bum.
and Ellie Scottney versus Yamileth Mercado. She's a fellow WBC champion too. So two belts are on the line.
Two belts online. You know I'm going with WBC champion.
You're gonna go with
It's a
Yamileth?
family. We blood bonded.
Okay. All right.
Well,
Well,
in the event that there's the Super Six, I was thinking about this. So we are going to do you, Alicia, Serrano,
Ooh.
Taylor, Mechaled, and we're going to get Michaela to come back down.
I don't think Michaela can come back down. That
I don't
girl
think
big now.
Michaela can, girl.
They were looking big,
No, you
but
not
you know,
hanging.
for the
Them
right
thighs, boy,
payday,
she's
you never
strong.
know.
Her ass be looking good, man. She's like,
Yeah, I don't think. I don't see that one. She's strong. Those thighs are strong.
I don't know. The right money will get anybody come down.
That's true. That is
You're
so
right.
true.
The right money
That's
has
true.
people walking around looking like Skeletor. You're right.
Yeah, look with
Yeah.
Chris Cyborg. When we watched documentary with Chris Cyborg, she was damn near on
Yeah.
death's door
Yeah,
trying to
don't
get
she
away
look?
for that paycheck.
I need some bread. Some
No,
real bread. She needs
you
to
can have
eat.
a bowl of air with some
You,
ice.
you ate too much air. See that? Spit it out.
We need
Okay,
all-
well, Tiara, we're gonna let you go. It was such a pleasure talking to you. We had so much fun. Chandra and I learned
We
so
did.
much about
We
you.
did. We did.
and we're gonna
Hey,
keep
cupcakes
you
or cookies, guys?
Cupcakes or
Cupcakes or
cookies?
cookies?
Peanut butter cookies all day.
carrot cake of in any form, cupcake,
Oh,
whole
carrot
cake.
cake cookie.
I'm a carrot
Carrot.
cake kind of person. No
Carrot
raisin.
cake cookies.
No
No
Carrot
raisin.
cake
raisin.
cookies.
Yeah.
No raisin. No, 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 no.
Chocolate. Oh man, I want some. Oh. Okay. Well,
I'm gonna go bake cookies now.
oh, okay. Well, we can't
Protein
wait.
ones. Protein ones.
Protein,
Jen,
put some protein so it doesn't feel so bad.
Yeah.
Okay, TR, any last thoughts, Chandra, before we let her go?
Thank you for joining us. I'm glad we had
you.
this opportunity to talk to you. Your story is incredible. Your motivation is admirable, and keep God first. Amen.
Amen.
Absolutely. You took us to church, and I appreciate that. Manifesting is real, and thank you. You keep dreaming, dream big, because that's all you've got.
Yeah.
So, Tiara Brown, we can't wait to see where you land next. We can't wait to see who you're gonna fight next because it's very, very exciting. I wonder who you're gonna defend your strap against first. Because if you're gonna
Can't
go
tell
for
you.
Amanda, that's undisputed.
Time will tell.
Time will tell.
Okay.